Good evening, I'm Jacob Reimer. Tonight is the culmination of the college football season with the national championship game between number 1 Indiana and 10th ranked Miami. Indiana goes for the perfect 16-0 season in their first title in program history, while Miami looks for their 6th title in school history and their first since 2001. Kickoff from Miami is at 7:30. Earlier today, the 12th ranked Ohio State women's basketball team beat number 9 TCU 71-69. Chance Gray led the Buckeyes in scoring this afternoon with 22 points and was 6 of 8 from 3. Jelani Cambridge followed with 18 points and Elsa Lemula added 17 points. They moved to 17-2 on the season and now have 2 wins over top 10 teams this season, and both come in the last 8 days. This update is sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at El Vaquero from now until March 31st. Buy 1 quesadilla deal, we'll get 1 free on the app. Terms apply. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Don't let that team steal it away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Monday. I'm Brandon Beam hanging out with our guy, A-Ward Sports, Austin Ward. We got Rhyme Time back from Disney World. Austin, happy Monday to you, my friend. What's going on? Happy to talk to you.
Happy, glorious Monday to you.
National Championship Monday.
There is a huge college football game tonight, if you can believe it or not, because it doesn't feel like it should still be going on after the last 19 days of roster management for Ohio State.
Boy, do I have some news for you, too. If you want to get excited about next year's Natty,
Don't.
It's 1 week from tonight.
Don't do this.
It's January 26th, 2027.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
They should not be playing. Like, even tonight, it's too long. And the other part about this, Beamer, you see, like, these it's a feel-good story with Indiana. And Miami has waited a long time to be back in the national spotlight. And you look at the ratings for the semifinals, down. You look at the ratings for even the quarterfinals, down. The sport is great. The calendar is broken. You're missing the window to capitalize. And also, people are exhausted from those 4 NFL division round games. Like, oh, no, I have to turn right back around for the national championship game in college football.
I
know you're not doing that.
Well, I am. I'll watch it tonight, but I got to be 100% honest with you right here on the Buckeye Show to start things off. Meredith was doing stuff today. William wasn't feeling that great, as I was telling Common Man and Timmy a little bit earlier on. You know, I'm getting ready to leave. It's about 4:15, 4:30. Mary goes, what time's the game start tonight? I'm like, what are you talking about? What game? What game are you even... What game is even possibly going on that you're aware that is going on? She's like, I don't know, the Hoosiers in Miami for the national championship. I said, oh, that game. Yeah, that game's supposed to kick off at like 7:30. It won't kick off till 7:50. But yeah, that game will be happening a little bit later this evening. But yeah, the whole day today. Again, I've been in a pit of despair today for multiple different reasons. But I just forgot that it was actually going on until like an hour and a half ago.
I'm feeling horrible today as a new Bears bandwagon fan, trying to coast on your coattails.
Welcome aboard, though.
I mean, just an all-time, one of the greatest throws that you've ever seen, lost to history. I mean, my guy, Caleb.
Yeah.
Who I've never questioned or scrutinized, criticized at any point.
Man, nobody has.
That wasn't me. That was somebody else. I felt bad for you. I prematurely texted after that touchdown throw.
A lot of people did. My phone was blown up after that touchdown.
So I decided not to text again after that because I blew it and I bore some responsibility for that. But NFL football and playoff games in general, just not a good experience for me over the last 3 weeks because Josh Allen got absolutely jobbed on Saturday.
He did get jobbed, and then the coach, Sean McDermott, lost his job today. That got... that's the best job that's open in the NFL. Can we agree on that? Like, I know that the Ravens is a good situation.
Coach Josh Allen.
You get, the Steelers who might go through a bit of a rebuild with Mike Tomlin stepping away, like organizational structure with the Steelers. Like, they're always going to be good and competitive, and they won the AFC North. Ravens, you still have Lamar Jackson. I know that there's rumors swirling around that. You get jobs that are being filled over the weekend. Kevin Stefanski, he takes the Falcons job. John Harbaugh, he takes the Giants job. Although that contract is being held up, I was reading from one of the NFL reporters today. And then today, former Buckeye defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, he just signed his job down at Miami, so he's going to be the head coach down with the Dolphins. And then you get that news bomb around, 9:30 this morning that Sean McDermott was going to be fired from the Bills. I'm like, boy, I think John Harbaugh and any of these guys, Kevin Stefanski at the time, who had signed on with their new jobs, I'm like, I would have probably pumped the brakes and held out for Buffalo if you knew that was going to happen. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was a terrific weekend of football.
Good games, competitive games outside of the earthquake in Seattle, but that it was painful to watch some of that stuff. I felt bad for you. And the thing about this NFL coaching carousel and the way that it's spinning now is that it does directly impact Ohio State in a way that we can put in terms of the Buckeye Show. A lot of these franchises have expressed some level of interest in Matt Patricia. I don't think any at this point have tried to schedule him for head coaching interviews, but they all would like to talk to him about being a defensive coordinator. I think as it sits right now, there's still not a financial concrete offer in front of him. And he's earned the opportunity to see whatever is out there for him. I continue to believe that he's not doing anything wrong by Ohio State, and Ohio State's certainly not doing anything wrong on their end. They have made it very clear that they will pay him accordingly and handsomely. Mm-hmm. And my understanding is would match any reasonable offer that he gets financially from the NFL team. So
correctly so, right?
Yeah, and that all makes sense. That's all well and good. Then some of these coaches and offensive coordinators that are in the conversation as that carousel spins at the highest level of the game impact some of the pie in the sky ideal dream candidates for Ohio State as an offensive coordinator.
Why don't you name some guys?
The ones that I said before, like if you're going to take a big swing, well, other teams are going to take those swings too. Brian Daboll, yeah, I mean he will interview for the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. He's probably going to be the head coach of the Bills if we're being honest about how that's going to work out. Todd Monken, John Harbaugh was like, you know what? I would very much like him to stay my offensive coordinator. That seemed to be part of the power struggle in Baltimore. So he's maybe not going to be an option in here. Even, some of the rung below, Nathan Scheelhaus,
getting head coaching interviews.
And like a second interview with the Cleveland Browns whenever that is going to be available to him. So that's the way that this works. It's also why I think it's likely to take some time. I'd love to be wrong about that. I don't have like strong rumored ties with mutual interest to report for anybody at this point, because the last 2 weeks were about the roster, and now Ryan Day is going to move forward. And that still doesn't mean that we'll get an answer during this show.
When was Matt Patricia announced? Do we remember that? Like what time of the year? I mean, I know it wasn't too far removed from what was going on now, but also last year Ohio State was playing on January 20th, so they had yet to play in their last game of the season. Then a couple of days after that, Jim Knowles announced that he was leaving. He was going to Penn State. You had that celebration that next Saturday. I didn't feel like that happened until mid-February. Was the Super Bowl over before Matt Patricia was announced? I can't really remember the date of that.
I thought the Super Bowl had happened. I was, it absolutely had, or it was around the Super Bowl, because I was on an airplane to Los Angeles.
February 12th was the day.
I did snap judgments with Berm about the Matt Patricia hiring in the airport in Las Vegas on the way to Disneyland for Sweethearts Night with Allie and Liberty. So that date will be burned in my brain. But that's why I feel like some of this stuff is not likely to be settled officially for Ohio State until around the Super Bowl or for the next couple of weeks. And if there's anything I've learned, there have been times in the past where I've thinking about Tony Alford leaving in the middle of spring ball, and you've got to get this done. Like, football is happening right now. You need a running backs coach. And Ryan Day's like, no, I'm going to interview as many people as I need to until the fit is right. Carlos Loughlin basically wound up missing all of that spring, was there for the final week of it. But I have learned that Ryan Day has an approach that is working. Not every hire is going to be a 10 out of 10, but he's going to be methodical. He's going to interview as many people as it takes. He did work really quicker than I thought with Cortez Hankton.
That was fast.
There was a lot more urgency in that regard because of the roster management situation. But in terms
the impending recruitment also of Chris Henry Jr.
Yes, all those factors at once. So I get that, and that's a little bit of the exception to prove the rule. When you're looking for the head coach of the offense, which I think that's still very much what Ryan Day is looking to do, does not want to call plays, knows he needs to be the CEO, you're going to have to turn over a lot of rocks and stones, because the ideal candidates, if that's the way that Ryan Day viewed Brian Daboll, and I can't say that he did or didn't, I don't know that there was ever a ton of confidence that Ohio State thought he would wind up in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center because of the other jobs available to him.
Yeah, and now that these jobs are just spinning out of control, I mean, Sean McDermott's record was pretty incredible, right? Like every single year that he's been the coach of the Buffalo Bills, I feel like it's been a heartbreaking loss. It has been. It's been tough, right? I mean, we saw the emotion of the Bills on Saturday when they lost that game and how much it meant to Josh Allen and those guys. And unfortunately, he found himself without a job. But to your point, maybe someone who was rumored or a candidate to be here and the head coach of the offense for Ohio State is likely, again, going to get an interview with the Buffalo Bills, if not already the front runner to take over that job in Buffalo. We got a great show lined up for you here tonight. We'll answer Austin's question of the day. A couple of them this evening. One of them deals with the Ohio State offensive line. One of them will deal with the running backs room over at Ohio State.
Very interesting.
Hear from Jake Diebler after their massive win against UCLA in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll get into the college football pulse at 7 o'clock. Mick Walker, he's going to join us. We'll go on the trail, talk some Buckeye recruiting, transfer portal stuff with him at 6:46. As for now, though, 10 TV's Adam King, he's going to join us in studio next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always. Trusted. Visit caresource.com.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 12th at the 2026 Ohio State 4-Miler, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down a tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. You can also get access to the home locker room and meet some of your favorite Buckeye student athletes. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostatefortmodern.com. Go Bucks!
Back in the day, if you wanted to listen to the Fan, you turned on the radio, and that was the end of the story. But now, oh baby, stream us live on the Fan app. TuneIn app, iHeart app, we're everywhere. The Fan, Ohio's streaming destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Days continue overnight and into early Tuesday as sub-zero wind chills remain across the region. Temperatures tonight will make their way down into the single digits with partly cloudy skies. More sunshine for tomorrow, high in the low 20s. Another chance at some rain-snow mix as temperatures push well into the 30s by Wednesday. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
The only radio show that bleeds scarlet and gray. This is the Buckeye Show.
You know, our guy Austin Ward this evening here with you for a full 2 hours. 10 TV's Adam King has popped by. Adam?
Is certified Disney adult Adam King. I believe he's known on this show.
Certified Disney knower and enjoyer.
I don't really appreciate you getting to introduce me.
Why?
Because that is not the title I approved.
Oh. What is the title you approved?
You never approved when I started calling you
handsome sports anchor in the world is what I asked for.
Agreed with that.
Thank you.
Concur.
You didn't approve it when I started calling you television's Adam King.
That's right.
But how'd that turn out for you?
That is literally, I don't know. Do you know this, Beam?
I don't know anything.
So Austin, this started 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Austin just called me television's Adam King on the Notebook one time. And so then a couple people.
And then it became every time.
And then it was every time. And then a couple people were like, hey, your television's Adam King. In public.
And you said, you're damn right I am.
I'm like, yeah. And now with
but at first he thought it was just a way that people talk. Oh, you're from television.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Well, now with Talking Tuesday and doing all this stuff with Austin and Berm, I will be in a store. Most recently, I think I was in World Market and the person didn't
Shout out to World Market. Haven't been there in years. What a great store. What? By the way, side note, if you ever go to World Market, maybe one of the most random places on Earth.
It's got everything you didn't know you needed.
Yeah.
It's wild. Right. It's a lawless land in there of just randomness. And this guy, I was, at World Market, and this guy goes, hey. He goes, are you television's Adam King?
Yes, I am.
And it happens all the time. Nobody says, hey, it's good to meet you, Adam King, or hey, you're on 10 TV. Nope. You're television's Adam King. And now if they're at the game, they'll yell at me. They don't say, Adam King, television's it takes more energy for them to call me by this made-up name that is...
It's not made up. It's a fact.
It is. That's right.
You are Adam King from television.
That's correct. I just
basically live here.
I wish that we would do that with every person's job. I think it would be a lot of fun.
They wouldn't be able to do that for me.
Are you firefighter Steve?
YouTube influencer Austin Ward.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Are you podcaster Austin Ward?
Social media influencer Jacob Reimer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Blossoming Disney adult Jacob Reimer.
College basketball nut Jacob Reimer.
There you go. Yeah. And that's how you have to address people now.
How was the UCF experience?
I unfortunately did not get that.
Oh, what happened?
That means that he was having too much fun at Disney.
Wait, so what happened? You didn't get to go to UCF. Why?
Got too drunk at Epcot. That's what he told me.
Because I was having a great time at Disney.
Yes, it's amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Was it, let me ask you, be honest, was it the kid? Did the kid inhibit your ability to have fun?
No. She had a fantastic time.
You don't
she
know
slept.
that.
She
She's
slept
4
a
months
lot.
old. You don't know if she had a good time or not.
She slept
she was
a
smiling.
lot. But she did meet some Disney princesses, and she was locked in on them and smiling the entire time.
I guarantee you she was horrified.
Who was more locked in, you or her, to the Disney princesses?
I was locked in on Nora to see her.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. Family Feud.
Rapunzel is mesmerizing.
Family Feud style. Good answer.
She's the goat of princesses.
That's always an interesting thing. Just the idea that and it's not just with Disney, anywhere you go that has characters or anything like that, that's just a person your age. Reimer, that's just, somebody that's also 24. And you're like, hey, this is my daughter who can't wait to meet you. And you're just standing there. You're just.
Have you thought on any of your previous couple
take
visits?
That down, Adam.
It's
the world's most magical place.
Yeah, because of the rides, not the characters. You weirdos.
On any of the last few visits, did you ever think, you know what? If I hadn't been television's Adam King, could I have hacked it as Prince Charming? Could that have been a career pivot?
You know, I have long thought what I would have done if I hadn't gone on television. And I think it would have been something wild like that. There's no world, like I'll tell you this much.
So you would have been a Disney character.
I don't know, but there's no world where
and then Reimer shows up to meet you.
That's right. And there's no world where I sit at Chase Bank in my like I can't envision myself.
Shout out to Chase Bank.
Yeah, like I can't envision myself like, hey, what do you do? Oh, I do accounting. Like I just can't. I don't know how that would work.
What about more like a Lord Farquaad from Shrek? You could do that.
Is that what you think of
That's
me?
a different park.
Is that what you? I could do it. And
that's not Disney.
That's Universal.
Come on,
that's right.
Get your.
Nah, you're more of a Prince Charming than a
Hey,
Lord
thanks.
Farquaad.
I really appreciate that.
He's already got the hair for it.
That's right.
There's
it's very coif.
Just fire in Beamer while you're looking up there. Just look at Prince Charming Disney meet and greet and tell me that Adam King could not put on that suit. Now, I know it's not English laundry, but
you know what's crazy is Beam pretended like that wasn't already what's pulled up on his computer. He pretended like he typed something in there.
You might be too blonde to be Prince Charming.
I am. Prince Charming has, what does he have, brown hair?
Yeah.
Maybe Flynn Rider? You can hang out with Rapunzel?
That's right. I agree with that. Reimer, you had a good time, but you didn't go to UCF.
No, I did not. And Arizona blew them out anyway. So.
Well, I think it's really interesting, your dedication. Like, here's a perfect example.
Were you mad that you didn't get to go?
I mean, a little bit. A little regret there. It would have been cool to see the #1 team in college basketball play in person, but I mean, I had some great food on Saturday when they played instead.
Reimer, were you here when March Madness was here last?
Yes, I was.
Did you go to the FDU Purdue game?
I was in person for that. I wasn't here for that game. I wasn't here at the Fan yet, but I was in person for that game.
There was basketball being played. Of course he was there.
I went to every game that was played in Columbus.
So here's my question for Jacob Reimer, and this will tell me all I need to know, because I looked at the college basketball slate today for men's basketball, and I said, oof, that is not a good slate.
Bad one.
Not even like...
Good weekend slate, though.
Yes, but not even like a single game where I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll turn that on. Did you watch college hoops today?
I have not today.
Oh, wow.
Will you watch it instead of Indiana-Miami?
I will likely have a multi-view on.
Okay.
Well, it must be nice to have money. I didn't...
Someone in the YouTube chat said, if Adam King is not a sportscaster in Columbus, Ohio, he is 100% part of a boy band. Yeah, I agree.
I could see that.
Craig, thanks for the comment.
Yeah,
100% you could be in a boy band.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice. I go on a reality show. I do a reality
You would do great as a reality show.
Didn't you get invited to one? I thought that you had an application or someone reached out.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is this real?
Television's Adam King is starting to regret that we've become friends.
Yes. Love is Blind did reach out to me.
Did they really?
When they were.
Why did you not?
Because I found my love, and
with his sight.
Yeah, that's right. I used my eyes, and I was happy. So I don't need to go on that show.
Great show, by the way. Trash TV. Great show. Though.
I love that show. It's great because you know what's amazing about it is that love is not blind, and we learn it every single year. And then they're like, "Let's do this again in the fall."
Maybe next time.
Let's sign up for it.
But it just might work for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a boy band or reality show contestant.
Are you guys going to watch the national title game with intensity tonight?
No, absolutely not.
No.
What is the best possible? Yep, exactly.
Best possible outcome?
Best possible outcome for Ohio State.
I don't think there really is one at this
other than the
juncture,
game
Adam.
being called.
Yeah. I mean, an Indiana victory. That way you get to talk about the Big Ten winning 3 national championships in a row. Like Miami winning does nothing for Ohio State. Indiana directly now then becoming the hunted, I think does something for Ohio State, because you hear Ryan Day and everyone over in that building talking about being the hunted compared to being the hunter. Miami's been in that position before, although be it a long time ago. They are officially back in the national landscape, though. But, yeah, I think Indiana, with that target on their back, with one of the greatest single seasons in college football history, it changes the narrative around them. And then they have some serious pressure that's on them for next season.
I think it pains me to see a concept where, and this is what happened, that like we would be talking about Indiana in the same realm as LSU in 2019. Like, I don't know that I can live in that world.
Do you know who you're talking to here?
What?
I'd love for there to be an actual definitive answer that we know Ohio State doesn't have to worry about that conversation about 2019 anymore. Like, you know what? They tested themselves against Indiana and they came up short. I think if they had not been robbed in the Fiesta Bowl in 2019, that they would have beat that LSU team by 30. Okay. And they would have beat the brakes off of that team.
Yeah, and it's a super hot take.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have had this argument with one of my good friends, not Austin Ward. You are a good friend, but not
close enough yet.
Yeah.
I tell too many secrets.
And I have had this, argument now going on 5-6 years. It's longer than that now. It's been, oh gosh, we're getting old.
We are.
It's been 7 years, and I have had the argument, I do not think they win that game.
What?
I do not think they win that game.
Ohio State doesn't win against LSU?
No, I do not.
You've given
it's
into
a great game.
Revisionist history propaganda.
No, because I remember thinking in that moment when they lost, obviously it was about the most depressing loss we had experienced.
The Clemson loss?
Yeah,
oh,
it was awful. But I remember thinking in that moment, like, boy, I don't know if they match up well with LSU. I still don't know if they win that game. So it's interesting.
LSU's defense was so bad.
So bad. That was the only reason Joe Burrow won the Heisman, was he had to play into the fourth quarter of these games so they could score 65 points and survive how bad their defense was. Also, he was running for his life. I think Chase Young probably could have had an impact on Joe Burrow in that game. They had 3 first-round NFL draft picks in the secondary. Yeah, Jamar Chase is good. Justin Jefferson, pretty good.
Those guys are.
If you're talking about
good,
anybody that could have matched up with
good
them,
guys, pretty good.
It was Ohio State.
You know what they say? Defense wins championships.
That's right.
Thanks, Dom.
We're never we're never gonna find that out though.
Well,
until we get into an alternate reality situation.
I think you. And normally I don't get into conference bragging rights, and we mocked the SEC for years and years
100%.
about doing that. But
doesn't it feel nice though? It's on the other side of that.
I love it. I do think the Big Ten winning would be more significant, and Ohio State's rooting interest for everything that Kurt Cignetti and the Hoosiers have done well. They're not gonna go head to head for that many recruits, or even for that many transfer portal players.
Yeah.
They will be doing that against Miami.
You don't want the U to be back.
You want the U to be back in mothballs.
I also think that this world, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't think this is sustainable in Bloomington. I think it's a great story. I do think it's sustainable if you do get over the mountaintop in Miami. I think that they could start to build something.
But I don't even know if that's their goal in Indiana, for this to be like, you're not going to go 16-0 every year. But I think if you go 10-2, if you make the playoffs every year, everyone is more than happy with that.
If you ask an Indiana fan, would you rather have more success long-term basketball or football?
Well, I think the narrative has changed around that. Now that they've gotten that sweet, sweet taste of success in football, I think you ask Indiana fans right now, Reimer, an hour and a half before this game starts,
they didn't know how good it was going to taste.
It tastes good.
Oh,
it tastes tasty. How did you guys have a good time on Saturday at the basketball game together?
That was electric. I really enjoyed the atmosphere. And I am so excited. I can't think maybe in the last 2 seasons that I've been this excited for a Buckeye basketball game than what's to come on February 8th when Michigan comes to town. Because I genuinely believe that'll be the most packed crowd we've had in a while. And especially if the Buckeyes can give them a game this Friday up in Ann Arbor.
It's gotta be tough.
Hey.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well,
that's cool.
Are we talking to Coach Justice again? Or are we talking to Luke Simons on Friday? We got it. Yeah, we got to get a win. We got to get him a win on the post-game show, because he's had a rough stretch talking to me these last couple of games. It's not been fun for him.
Who was it? Illinois and Carolina so far?
Illinois, Carolina, and then Oregon. Yeah, Washington. Yeah, it was Washington. It was Washington. That is right.
Trivia question before I go that was just on ESPN. Lowest college football ranking to ever win the national title.
Ohio State last year.
Nope.
What? I don't know if you read the question correctly.
Well, I don't know if you read the question correctly. The lowest ranked team, the lowest team with the lowest ranking that season to then go on and win the national title.
So you didn't phrase it that way first. The lowest to ever then become a college football playoff.
From the start of the season?
From any point in the season.
See how long this buildup is and how poorly he introduced.
I will say the question was
Ohio State starting 16th
2014
in the selection committee.
Okay.
I will say I don't think I could have messed that up more. The question was only like 8 words, and I royally screwed that up.
Yeah, no, it was just the lowest seed. I'm like, well, for years, Adam, they only did 1 versus 2. And now we went 1 versus 4. So that kind of eliminates it. And Ohio State, what were they last year? Eighth. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, well, that process of elimination.
This tells you where I am mentally because I saw on the ESPN screen, it said Sean McDermott plans to continue coaching after firing. And I read that
Ohio State's offensive coordinator.
Well, I read that in my head as like he's not leaving.
This is my job. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not leaving.
We got a new stadium we're opening up. Yeah, guys, I'm not going anywhere.
That's Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving him.
Adam plans to continue coaching. All right.
Have a terrific rest of your evening. All right.
Hey, you have a terrific rest of your evening.
I will with Austin.
All right.
Do you have a highlight reel for your interview for Love is Blind? Like, is that a thing that still exists or not?
I didn't do the interview. I was reached out to, and I politely
they were recruiting content.
And I politely said, I am happily in love. You can find someone else who needs this show, and eventually goes to Mexico and has their whole relationship crash and burn in episode 4.
You would have been just straight up social media sensation.
I've always wondered.
And then you could be on the Traders now. You just make a whole living in reality.
The Traders.
All right, we got to go.
We got
get out of here. Austin's first question of the day takes us to Ohio State's offensive line. We'll attempt to answer that in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Don't start the new year with the same old ride. Right now, score low lease payments on all 2026 models, like $149 a month for a brand new Elantra or $159 for a new Sonata. Hurry in and kick off the new year right. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit, $39.95 down plus tax, title, and fees. 2-year lease with 10K miles per year. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's Best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Ends 2/2.
I take care of the kids, my dad, things at work, but I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. Go to mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone. Now through February 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 26 Corolla or Corolla Hybrid, excludes GR and Corolla Cross, or lease a new gas-powered Corolla LE for $209 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing, with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We're very close to Buckeye football. Very close. Uncomfortably close. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Mick Walker is going to join us coming up here around 6:46. We'll on the trail with him, talk everything going on in the transfer portal with the Buckeyes. Again, extraction point can still be done by college football teams. The deadline for players to enter passed on Friday evening, Austin. So you guys no longer, I know that you and Pat and everyone out there on the Buckeye Beat are excited that players can no longer enter the transfer portal.
Well, not so fast, my friend. There's a new portal window opening tomorrow for Hoosiers and Hurricanes. So will that lead to anything for Ohio State? I would say probably not. A lot of Indiana's roster, and we know that their portal approach has been to get veterans. They don't have a ton of eligibility left in most cases. Can't speak for every player on their roster, but I don't know that there would be a ton of crossover with what Ohio State could potentially want to add.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the caliber of players, as I mentioned when Television's Adam King was in here, they get into a lot of tangles with Miami, and I don't know what will happen for their roster. And I don't know if that would change anything for Ohio State anyway, because if you look at that last 2 weeks, really last week's stretch of success on the portal front, there's not a position now that you look at that went unfilled or that becomes a need. Now, you'll evaluate everyone that's available to you. Ohio State will make those decisions, but I do think that the portal closing on Friday probably means we're looking at the 2026 roster for Ohio State pretty much intact now.
Yeah, absolutely it does. I was reading this on lettermanrow.com over the weekend. It's no longer a question of the day. You're doing a... Did you take this from Uncle Bo? It's a three things.
I wanted to get
this idea from him.
I wanted to get through this stretch where there was just so much news happening. Like I felt like I knew what the audience at Letterman Row and what Ohio State fans would want to hear about while there's so much flurry of activity going on. So there was a brief pause on question of the day. It was like, I don't need all 1,000 of you to ask like who they're going to go recruit or who they need out of the portal or what's a position of need. Like, I get it. I'm going to do my best for you. We'll bring it back. Question of the day will be back, and we'll be talking about it on the Buckeye Show. But I did, it was a little bit of a, stealing is probably too strong of a word, borrowing some thoughts from Bo.
Yeah, loaning the idea out.
Yeah.
The three things.
Well, he doesn't write them. It's on social
media.
media.
You're right. There's no transcript of what those guys say for three things that they do every day. By the way, technically they do 9 things because each one of them does 3 things. So it's basically 9 things that they do.
They need to rename it
of their show. No, I don't know. You might get a trademark infringement.
Oh, okay.
From the desk of one Uncle Bo Bishop if you do try to change that name on that show. But you're writing a 3 things piece about Ohio State's offensive line, and more specifically, Austin, about what the return of Austin Sareveld means to this Ohio State team, specifically for this offensive line. Now, Austin Sareveld is an interesting case study, right? Because all through spring ball last year and right basically into fall camp, we were talking about Austin Sareveld being the starting right tackle for Ohio State. And it was going to be a battle really. At that point in time, we're like, all right, Ethan Onyeonwa, he's coming in. He's likely going to be your starting left tackle. And then you actually get into camp and see what these guys possess. You're like, boy, Austin Sareveld, pretty good. Let's kick him out to the left side. Ethan Onyeonwa didn't actually play a lot for Ohio State this season. So it is interesting. I mean, you do get your quote-unquote best offensive lineman, most high-profile player back on that offensive line for Austin Sareveld. But this Ohio State offensive line should be pretty darn good in the year of 2026.
Yeah, this is a significant retention, a significant boost for this offseason and that group. And I know that over the last couple of weeks, and given the way that Ohio State played up front against Indiana and Miami, there were a lot of people like, well, you must go out there. You must pay for Jordan Seaton. Mm-hmm. Like whatever he asked for, pay it. You need to upgrade the offensive line. That's not the way that Ohio State viewed it, at least not in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. Their evaluations, their confidence in the group that they could come back. The priority was, can you keep Austin Sareveld and Carson Hinsman? And if those things go a different direction, then maybe you have to have different portal combat conversations. But I think for Sareveld specifically, what you're getting here is multifaceted. He's a captain, okay? Let's not minimize that. Yep. In all of the attrition and transition that you have going on with the roster in the bottom third of it, the culture and the brotherhood is still important. You still have to maintain that. And that still has to come from your veteran players and your leadership group. It can't just be Ryan Day saying, this is what the brotherhood is. Like, can you do that or not? Like, people have to put that in place on the practice field and in the weight room.
And I specifically think that is going to be tested as this transfer portal strategy becomes different. Again, how many players did Ohio State lose to the portal?
31.
31 was the number, and you've brought in, I don't even know what the number
16.
is. You brought in 16 of them. So when you have that much roster turnover and you talk about this brotherhood and, developed here, like that's going to get tested this offseason when you're starting to churn over the roster, kind of like what they are right now.
Yeah. I mean, because the coaching staff and the players have strong relationships, but that is your parent. If you're talking about the brotherhood, the ones that are going through all those workouts that are on the field next to you, those are the players. That has to be a culture that is established by the left tackle and the left guard. Mm-hmm. And that might already exist or does already exist for Luke Montgomery and Austin Sareveld specifically, but there's going to be a new tight end next to Austin Sareveld, and you've brought in a couple from the portal, and you're trying to bring along the next step with Nate Roberts. So establishing what the expectations are for that is important. So having a captain, and they have 2 because Brandon Ennis is returning as well for Ohio State, but having somebody, an Iron Buckeye, a captaincy, putting off the NFL draft, that's all significant within the locker room. Aside from that, you're getting an experienced player who's played both guard and tackle, so you have versatility with your offensive line. You don't have to move Austin Sareveld, but you can. If he projects as a guard at the next level, and it feels like there's differing opinions about what his ceiling, what his true potential is down the road, that doesn't matter as much to Ohio State or to Tyler Bowen right now because they saw 12 games of really good film at left tackle.
Look at Donovan Jackson. Look what he did in his last year at Ohio State.
And I understand that Indiana and Miami were the best defensive fronts and the most aggressive fronts that Ohio State faced, and they did not pass protect as well. I don't think that means that you have to throw out the previous 12 games body of work with Austin Sareveld or anybody on that front for what they did and how rock solid they were. That for whatever, criticisms justified or otherwise we want to lob at the last two games, they had just played one of their most impressive outings of the entire season and bullied around Michigan in the Big House for that win. And I don't think that you scrap all that. And I know that Ohio State didn't. So stepping up the way that they did, Austin Sareveld wanting to come back, same thing for Carson Hinsman. This stuff is significant. If they move the pieces around, great, because not only do you bring Sareveld, Montgomery, Carson Hinsman, and Phillip Daniels back, but now you have a couple games worth of film of Ian Moore at tackle, and that can give you flexibility. You saw Josh Padilla step up in the postseason in the second half against Miami. Gabe Van Sickle did that in the second half against Indiana. Maybe they weren't ready for that full-time role quite yet, but now you're talking about 7 or 8 guys who can contribute for you because you were able to retain veterans with experience inside your culture, not just on the field, anywhere. And I think that's a huge deal.
I also think it's a big deal when you're talking about the quarterback development and Julian saying having consistency with his offensive line and knowing the strengths and weaknesses day in, day out, especially going into year number 2, which I think we're all excited about for Julian Sayin. But having that consistency across the board and familiarity with his offensive line, I think it's a huge piece of the puzzle, not only for this offensive line and their continuity with the run game and everything that we talk about of games played together and how much that means, but also with the development of Julian Sayin and him having that consistency in front of him, I think is a huge piece of the puzzle.
And look, you can have nothing but the 5 highest graded offensive linemen, all-world first-round draft picks, 5 stars. They're not going to win 100 reps in a row against Miami's front or Indiana's front or anybody's front. So this is not to absolve them. The pass protection needed to be better in those 2 games that Ohio State lost. It's non-negotiable. It has to be better. But there's another factor, and there's another piece to that the quarterback has to be able to eliminate some of those mistakes as well. Maybe he can't do it every time, but whether that's understanding where the pressure is coming from, getting the football out of your hands, using your legs when you need to. There are parts where Julian Sayin's experience, not just with the guys in front of him, but just simply being on the field and knowing that sometimes it's going to break down and he's going to have to find a solution for that. That's part of playing quarterback at the highest level, winning a national championship. It's not always going to be perfect. Fernando Mendoza has faced pressure in every single one of these games in the postseason, and he did in the Big Ten championship game.
Play number 1.
Yeah, he got hit. That's
right in the mouth.
It's not going to be perfect on every snap, and to expect that that's the standard for Austin Sareveld or Carson Hinsman is not reality. So, yes, they can take a step forward. I bet they will, because they have another 9 months in the weight room. They have another full year of starting experience under their belt, and that also goes for Julian Sayin and his ability to make some things right when it does break down. I fully expect that he will be better at that. Everything we've heard about him as the quarterback and as a developing player at Ohio State is he makes a mistake and he learns from it. And he doesn't tend to make them multiple times. We can argue whether he did or didn't do that from Indiana to Miami, but now you have all of this offseason in front of you, spring ball and March and April, training camp. That schedule's a bear. So you hope that everyone takes that step forward, but I wouldn't bet against it personally.
We're going to go on the trail with Letterman Rowe's Mick Walker, talk all things recruiting about the Buckeyes with him next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
It may be winter outside, but inside the Ohio Expo Center, it's golf season. The Columbus Golf Show is back for 3 days only, January 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Save up to 70% on golf equipment, accessories, and apparel, even vacation packages. Test the newest clubs, compete in skills competitions for great prizes, and get a free lesson from a PGA pro. Come tee it up indoors this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center, January 23rd, 24th, and 25th. For tickets, go to columbusgolfshow.com.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that.
Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178 or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
Below freezing? Fire up the grill at Billiards Plus. The grilling season never ends. While you're grill shopping, you'll love browsing Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
If the big garage door guy's estimate to replace a spring looked more like an estimate for having open heart surgery, we are Deluxe Door Systems. For over 30 years, a trusted Columbus staple. Straightforward, honest, and for less than you think. DeluxeDoorSystems.com.
Alexa, how do I handle this leaky pipe under my kitchen sink?
The best answer is to call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222.
Alexa, how do I reconnect my toilet to the sewer line?
Kevin, do yourself a favor and just call the Waterworks.
You're right. What's that number again?
Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222. Better care, better value, better results.
The Buckeyes are back at the shot for a Big Ten battle with Minnesota.
Live fan coverage starts Tuesday at 5:30 after Common Man and Timmy.
Every game, every season. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town-properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5 each. Order your favorite $5 Pizza Pals from Donatos.com today. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donatos. Gotta love more.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
The best kind of power is star power. Let's go on the trail.
We're on the Buckeye Show, brought to you by our good friends over at CareSource and United Healthcare. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check in with our good friend of Letterman Row. He is Mick Walker. Mick, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Before we get to what's going on with the football team, how did the 937 in Dayton treat you to this weekend when you were at the Flying to the Hoop tournament in good old Kettering, Ohio, Mick?
Amazing. Eric Horseman and the staff over there Flying to the Hoop treat everybody as amazing as possible, just about as well as 97.1 The Fan treats me whenever I come on. Glad to be following the King. That was the biggest news I found out tonight. I saw, hey, here's the lineup. I get to follow the King. Not the biggest concert goer, but I don't think you put the openers after the star. But glad to be on.
Well, I think that you're a worthy encore, Mick. You've got the recruiting information that makes Adam King jealous all the time. He's always asking, what's the next move? What needs to happen? And I'm looking at it, Mick. I'm curious how you feel about it. Even if Indiana or Miami players jump in the portal right now, or after the game. They don't have to do it right now. But with this 5-day window that they have, I don't know that there's a ton of needs left for Ohio State right now. Do you agree?
I tend to agree with you. I know there was some, there's always back channel discussions. There's some, looking at maybe other players on either roster that Ohio State would be interested in, just people posting on the Letterman Lounge message board. I don't really see any. I think they got kind of filled some of the last needs with Dominic Kelly the end of the week last week at cornerback, restock some of that room. So I don't think any of the rumors or discussions about anybody on either of those rosters mean much at this point, because I think Ohio State's content with its portal class.
You mean to tell me that we're not going to try to poach away anybody from the Hurricanes, Mick? Like zero?
Well, we've talked about this, and Austin's brought it up a couple of times. The thing about Miami and even a little bit of Oregon, you don't really poach anybody from those rosters, because if those guys are good on those rosters, those teams pay them a lot to stay around, and everybody else just leaves. Like you're looking at backups that were 3 stars, 4 stars that they kind of took as, hey, they wanted to come here, so we'll let them come. But the star power of both those rosters will stay intact because they are going to pay those guys very well.
It sounds very similar to what happens here at Ohio State. Obviously they had 31 players enter the portal, Mick, but if you prove that you can play here and you are warranted as a starter, they're going to do whatever monetarily or otherwise to trying to keep you here in Columbus. So it sounds like kind of those same exact situations.
Yeah, and there's even, there's different, again, rumors, internet stuff, all kinds of goes on. Jalen McLean's brother goes to Tennessee as a recruit this cycle. Everybody gets a little panicked. Is Tennessee going to try and come in over the top and offer him money? Ohio State made sure to quiet that stuff and get hit one of their best defenders and starting safety back. Obviously, I imagine there's teams tampering and trying to get different players on the roster into the portal, but like you said, Ohio State keeps Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sam, Bo Jackson, all those different type of starters that you look at. Austin Saravelt, who Austin wrote a great story over on Letterman Row about. All those guys come back and say no to the portal, say no to the NFL draft.
You're going to have to be careful with all these plugs and gassing us up, Mick. That's people are going to start to wonder and ask me questions. When I asked you this on Saturday, but for those who weren't listening to your previous appearance on 97.1 The Fan, what do you view as the most significant addition, whether that was retention or otherwise, for Ohio State as they built this 2026 roster in this period here in January?
Just transfer portal additions, I think it's the defensive line. You get John Walker, James Smith, Quay Russo to come in and kind of bolster that talent room. You can get Jackson back from the NFL draft. You bring in Kari Wilder, Trey Quinn from the defensive line group on the edge, and you still retain Zion Grady up at Satana. So there's a good real core of the unproven guys kind of in that defensive line room, but I really like what they did adding talent. And then again, we mentioned retaining Bo Jackson. I think we all kind of know how close that got there at the end. Ohio State was able to keep their star running back in the fold, and now you get an offensive trio, Julian Sam, Bo Jackson, and Jeremiah Smith back for at least one more season.
What do you think Jacoby Jackson can do in the backfield here? I know that you're really high on Isaiah West, so I'm not trying to bypass that, and you can talk about him if you want, but what was I don't know, if Carlos Lachlan is looking at the options that he had and what he needed to get done in the backfield, what was it that made Jacoby Jackson stand out?
I think it's power and pass protection. I know you love a little alliteration, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
The power, he's a larger, he's an older back that can kind of succeed in some of these short yardage situations. He's also a veteran, so some of this pass rush stuff that just take time to learn on when to step up on linebackers and how to make sure your quarterback gets time on third down. Ohio State used C.J. Donaldson in that role a lot, and I imagine Bo Jackson is going to advance, and Isaiah West is going to advance in that category. But Jacoby Jackson's already got those reps. He's already been through the fire a little bit on that stuff, so the power in those short situations and the pass protection are two different things I think they really liked about him.
He is Mick Walker of Letterman Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. Mick, can you put the shoe on the other foot? Maybe biggest surprise by a player leaving or disappointed because you were excited about their future at Ohio State? Guys who left or guy who left that is going to kind of not necessarily hurt the Buckeyes in a revenge factor, but one that stings a little bit more than the others.
It's tough to say in a room that has Jeremiah Smith and brings Brandon Ennis back and has Chris Henry Jr. coming in, but I got to see Quincy Porter coming out of high school at Bergen Catholic, and I loved him since then. He saw his rise as a senior coming up to a 5-star, so just the outside body, the explosiveness, the kind of the high-end athleticism that he brought to that room, I really thought he was going to be able to do good things, but that's just kind of how the portal works nowadays. He's going to have a good situation with C.J. Carr over at Notre Dame, and they're going to try and show him off to be a number one wide receiver, which is what he told our rival Steve Wilfong that he wanted to do. Again, I don't know how you thought you were going to be that by the time Jeremiah Smith was still on campus, but that's what he wanted to go do, and I think he'll do good things there, but that's one that stings.
What do you make of the way that Cortez Hankton worked to replace, not just Quincy Porter, but also Mylan Graham and Bryson Rogers? Cardinal Tate's in a boat all of his own, but, made a couple moves, and we know that Cortez Hankton's been on the road as well as a recruiter right away. What have you thought about, his busy 20 days on the job, Mick?
Yeah, just the transfer portal additions. I think you look at it, Jeremiah Smith, Brandon Ennis, these guys coming up were all big 7-on-7 players. So in the spring and the offseason, they did a lot of 7-on-7 and stuff. Nobody in the Ohio State wide receiver room was really big into track. Had a ton of track times out there to kind of pinpoint in high school. Devin McEwen from UTSA and then Kyle Parker from LSU. Both of them are track guys in the spring when they were in high school. They both ran sub-11 second 100-meter dashes, which for anybody that's kind of just listening and says, well, is that a metric or a kind of a bar? That's really, really fast from a lot of people. It's a college track time to kind of get in under 11 seconds in the 100. So those are two. That's speed that Ohio State really hasn't had in that wide receiver room. Those are two big additions to kind of add some explosivity to the room. And then I think just when it comes to on the trail, he's already got his top 3 targets in 2027 up on campus with Jameer Brown, the 5-star commit, who's now transferring into Big Walnut, Munchausen Sales, the 5-stars from Indianapolis, and then Eric McFarland, who recently moved up from 2028 to 2027. And I still think he'll be a 5-star because our colleague and friend Jeremy Birmingham believes that he's probably the best wide receiver in the country regardless of class.
Mick, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on. Before we get you out of here, who do you have in tonight's national championship game between the Canes and the Hoosiers?
I think you guys had me on about 2 weeks ago, being before the Oregon and Indiana game. And I said, that's a really darn good football team. And I'll stick with the darn good football team in Kurt Cignetti again. They got a first-round quarterback. Their trenches are talented. I know they're not the biggest or the most star-studded team, but that coaching staff is really well put together. The team's really well put together. So I'll rock with the Hoosiers, make it 3 straight for the Big Ten.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on. Enjoy the game tonight. Have a great work week, and we will check in again soon, all right?
Thanks, Beam. Thanks, Austin.
There he goes. Mick Walker, Letterman Row, Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Very, very complimentary tonight, Mick.
I love that.
Very opposite of Berm whenever he's on here.
He asked, I'm going to put his business out there. He wants to come in and hang out on the Buckeye Show at some point this spring.
Whenever he wants.
I said, how much time do you need?
Whatever he wants.
Come on in.
Yeah.
You're always welcome.
2-hour show, half-hour show, 1-hour show, whatever you want to do, Mick. Yeah. He's off the line now. He can't hear that unless he's listening, which he probably is.
It's the same thing I told him then. We would love to have you in here.
We're going to crown a national champion tonight. We're going to get into that. The Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
T-Bone and Tybus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
What can ADP do for small business? We help answer the business questions, like how do you track employee time? How do you do payroll taxes? Or what does compliance even mean? So small businesses can focus on bigger questions. Now florists can ask, can we invent another holiday to sell bouquets? Pizza shops can ask, how do we stuff a calzone into a pizza crust? And pool cleaners can ask, what is that thing in the filter? These are the questions you can focus on when ADP takes care of the business of your small business. ADP for small business.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Modern Office Methods, your authorized RICO dealer, can help your business optimize your print production with a competitive advantage. Our digital printing options will expand the type of paper and substrates from what your business can print on today. Add variable data capability, which allows for personalization of catalogs and mailers, and the ability for short-run label printing, which allows your business to print high volumes of custom labels quickly and on demand. Want to learn more? Start with a print assessment at momnet.com. Why risk it? You can count on Mom.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Kroger app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb, coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good evening, I'm Jacob Reimer. Happy Championship Monday. The final college football game of the season is tonight with the national championship game between number 1 Indiana and 10th ranked Miami. Indiana goes for the perfect 16-0 season and their first title in program history, while Miami looks for their 6th title in school history and their first since 2001. Kickoff from Miami is at 7:30. In the NFL, a name has been added to the coaching carousel. Earlier today, the Bills fired head coach Sean McDermott. McDermott spent 9 seasons in Buffalo and made it to the postseason 8 times. The Bills fell to Denver in the AFC divisional round on Saturday. And the 12th ranked Ohio State women's basketball team picked up a big win earlier today, beating number 9 TCU 71-69. They moved to 17-2 on the season and now have 2 wins over top 10 teams, both coming in the last 8 days. This update sponsored by Eco Plumbers. Get $500 in free plumbing services when you buy a new water heater. Visit geteco.com and book today. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hour number 2 of the program for us here. It's fine Monday, 49 minutes left to go. Kickoff between the Canes and the Hoosiers.
No. Reimer said it was kicking off at 7:30.
Yeah, well, Reimer, I told you got an A+ doing that update live there. You lied. How does it feel to be a liar to everybody?
Well, I mean, the time says 7:30.
They're lying. You're not lying.
Yeah. I'm just reading what I see.
48 minutes and 27 seconds left to go until kickoff in this game.
Oh, just make sure you're ready. I just now see that too. At 7:50.
Yeah, 7:50 is going to be the unofficial kick time for this game. So we got Indiana, you've got Miami. Tail of the tape between the two programs could not be any starkly different when you're talking about historical value of both programs. What'd you say, Reimer? Miami's going for their 6th title.
Yes.
Indiana's going for their first national championship. They have like 725 losses all time, Indiana does. It's the 2nd most in college football history. What a season they've had. I did see this. Pete Thamel, Raiders owner Mark Davis here in person alongside Tom Brady with the team brass to watch Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Raiders on the clock for the NFL draft. They will have the number 1 pick in April's draft.
Really had to twist Tom Brady's arm to go hang out in Miami, didn't they?
I think he did.
I saw that the Raiders were not only heading out there to watch Fernando Mendoza, but they were making prospective coaching candidates meet with them in Miami as well.
Really?
Yeah. So they're doing double dipping. I think they did some interviews out there earlier today. We'll see what they choose to do. I know that Tom Brady and the Patriot Way was one of those programs that had put out at least some feelers for Matt Patricia, but I don't believe that Matt Patricia is in Miami right now.
I don't believe that he is either, unless they pan to him in the crowd somewhere and then you see him. I mean,
that would be news to me.
Listen, a man of Matt Patricia's esteem can get down to Miami, I would imagine, pretty quickly.
I think so.
From Columbus, Ohio. Can make that flight. You could get to different places. A guy like him and all the abilities. But yeah, that game's coming up here at 7:50. I'll just lock in a prediction now. I'm going to stick in with the Hoosiers because I said it a couple of weeks on the show when Indiana was playing Oregon. I had Oregon playing in the national championship, and I changed my prediction before the Indiana and Oregon game.
You crushed it.
Just with the way that everything was going, I'm like, I don't know, man. I just can't. I can't pick against this Indiana team anymore. I've done it for too long. I think the Hoosiers are going to win pretty handily tonight. They're just so well coached. They're so old. They're so veteran. They really don't make mistakes. You want to talk about talent level, it's obvious Miami is the more talented football team. But there's been a lot more teams this season that have been the more talented team than Indiana. And what are they? They're 15-0. They've been blowing everyone out of the water. Now, the Canes do have one thing going for them. It is at home. It's the first college football playoff title game ever to be played at a home site with a home team playing. It doesn't matter. There is a sea of crimson The Indiana fans said, charge it to win it. I don't care what it's going to take for me to get into this football game, to get down to Miami. It is going to be a pro-Hoosier crowd, even though it is at the Hurricanes' home field.
Imagine if this was at Lucas Oil.
Oh,
the
God,
Hoosier Dome?
Yeah, literally the Hoosier Dome.
Yeah. I mean,
Austin got a taste of that in the Big Ten
I saw what it was
Championship
like.
game.
It was a pretty good atmosphere and a tremendous game, number one versus number two. I really wanted to see what a rematch was going to look like. I think this part will make it even more painful for Ohio State fans because 13-10, everything we talked about, for those 25 days between Indy and Arlington was, just poor game plan, not enough execution, like pin that on the offense, and you had the coaching staff shenanigans going on. Give them another opportunity, and they can take down Indiana.
Man.
Like that game and the quality of play going back and forth, I didn't, I can only speak for myself, give Indiana enough credit. I still feel like that Ohio State did more to lose that game in particular than Indiana did to win it. But boy, you cannot make that argument over their last couple outings. And if they do that against Miami, it won't matter anyway because they're going to give them a big gold trophy that they've never held before.
Yeah, they haven't. So again, we're about 45 minutes away from kickoff in that game. Indiana and the Hoosiers coming up here. Some other Miami sports news today. Jeff Hafley hired as the Miami Dolphins head coach. It's former Buckeye defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley. That was one really, really good year of defensive coordinating that we saw. And then Jeff Hafley had an interesting tenure. He left. He went to be the head coach at Boston College, said, I don't really want to be in college anymore. And then went over to Green Bay, helped them in their defense for the last couple of years before getting that Miami job. So that's where Jeff Hafley will be employed now in the stadium. Get to see him next fall. But yeah, former Buckeye defense coordinator Jeff Hafley getting that Dolphins job today, Austin.
I remember having the exact same future head coaching vibes from Jeff Hafley when he had his introductory press conference as I got from Ryan Day. You never know if that's going to work out that way or where, how, success level that they're going to have. But there was just a way of communication from Jeff Hafley. And it was only that 1 year. And I in some ways, I think the success happened almost too quickly for him because, Boston College was that the ideal job for him. He worked at a high level.
It's a
difficult
program,
difficult place to win at. And I think maybe, if he'd spent another year or two, the opportunities would have been different. But you can't criticize that path that he went on anyway because he realized maybe it wasn't going to work out at BC, went to Green Bay, has obviously been a smashing success there as well. But he's a relationship builder. He communicates at a very high level. You saw the results immediately with the Ohio State defense. The guy gets it on and off the field. So kudos to him. Congratulations to Jeff Hafley. Miami, the Dolphins aren't going to be an easy rebuild either, but
they're kind of a dumpster fire.
You got a tough
bad ownership, man.
Bad ownership and a tough quarterback situation, which is obviously problematic. But I know for sure that Miami defense will be salty.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Jeff Hafley, he doesn't get to work for Mark Davis and his sweet, sweet haircut, which is on full display
it's
right
a
now.
Real bummer for him.
Down on the sidelines. Yeah, I'm sure he's super upset about it. Reimer, what else do you have for us tonight in the Pulse, buddy?
So we have a way too early top 25 that was put out by On3, and they have yours truly, Ohio State, as the number one team for next year. Way too early with, says 3 first-place votes. Georgia is second, and then Texas, with Arch Manning coming back, is third.
Yeah, interesting to kind of look at this, right? And things will change 100 different times before we get to the start of the season.
Why? Is it too early for a poll?
Is Indiana too low?
No, I'm not saying any of that, but these were your comrades over at On3 that put this together.
I didn't get to vote, by
I know.
the way.
Why didn't you? Why didn't you get a vote on this?
I don't know. I don't ask questions.
But anyways, so it was kind of a vote process. To what Reimer was talking about, Ohio State got 3 first-place votes. It was the most of any team. Georgia, they got 1. Texas got 1. Notre Dame got 1. Indiana and Oregon come on the list at 5 and 6. Just want to let you know that 3 out of the top 6 teams for the way too early top 25 poll for next year is on Ohio State's schedule. You obviously get Michigan, who comes in at number 11, and then you get number 19 USC as well. It's going to be a monster schedule, monster season for the Buckeyes. But hey, you got to feel good, right? The first way too early. We haven't even finished the college football season, and we're already moving on to the way too early polls. But the Buckeyes land at number 1. I would have to imagine that a big reason why that is because you have your returning quarterback and number 4 back for your roster, Austin.
You have a Heisman Trophy finalist at quarterback, and you have the actual best college football player in America for him to throw to. And we mentioned In the first hour of the Buckeye Show, you have Austin Sareveld and Carson Hinsman both putting off the NFL draft. You have Luke Montgomery coming back, so an offensive line that will protect. For all of the, hand-wringing and concern that we've had, what's Ryan Day going to do about the offensive coordinator and the play calling? There are still going to be a lot of people who are interested in working with that talent that is assembled for Ohio State. And, if they adjust and they play more up-tempo or to the strengths of Julian Saint or whatever, whoever comes in to help do that, you have everything that you could possibly want, in my opinion, on offense. And Matt Patricia, keep that piece around. Again, that's why it's too early. We don't even know what changes could still be out there. It does feel like the roster is in place, but there are going to be tweaks to the coaching staff. I'm sure of that in the days and the weeks ahead. So, yes, it will change. I think I said last week when we were like, well, what's Ohio State going to be in the preseason polls? I bet when we get to late July and August, they'll probably slot them. Everyone will talk themselves into Texas. They'll say that Georgia's back, this, that, and the other thing. But Ohio State at the end, even if there's been times where the portal felt like a panic situation, this is going to be one of the 5 most talented teams in the country, 5 most talented rosters, and also one of the 5 most expensive. So,
do we have a schedule for next year? Like, has the Big Ten been dragging their feet on that? Like, what is going on with the Big Ten? The SEC did it like back in early December, released their schedule. We still don't have an actual, we know who the opponents are going to be. We don't have an actual schedule out yet.
It's infuriating. And because Tony Petitti, all he's doing is arguing with Greg Sankey about trying to get 24 teams in the college football playoff field, and he won't even put out his own conference's schedule for 2026. And
what are they doing?
This isn't press box snob, I need to book my travel. Quinn Temple and Ohio State's front office needs to book hotels and flights and plan out their year. This is absurd.
It's an 18-team conference. There's still 17 other teams besides that are not named Ohio State that do not have the ability to do that. I haven't seen a press release. I haven't seen an announcement of when they're going to release it. We are 2 weeks away from February.
When did the SEC announce theirs?
I'm telling you,
first week in December.
It was literally early December. Theirs has been out for 6 weeks now.
Of all the things that Tony Petitti has done, and God knows there's not a lot that we like. But this, also for your fans of Big Ten schools, not just,
there's a lot of them.
Whether you're going to a home game or an away game, you kind of need to know where and when they're going to be. And we already have the win part. We know that the times are subject to change, but the date shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And you already know who the opponents are. They're not trying to sort that out. All that stuff has been confirmed. Here are the 9 teams that you're going to play. All right.
I'm glad I didn't just miss that because
you did not.
I've been waiting on it.
I'm worked up about it.
When do you think we're going to get that? Over, under by the end of January. Will it be February or January that we get that?
It needs to be January. And somebody, I think Mick was talking about this, Mick Walker from Letterman Row the other day. He's like, maybe Tony Petitti is just going to start flexing the whole schedule so that he can turn it into a television property. Like Sunday nights, tune in to find out who Ohio State's going to play this week.
When did it come out last year?
December?
Yeah, that's. I've never seen a conference waiting this long to confirm the dates. Never.
I'm thrilled that I didn't miss it because I hadn't seen anything, and I'm like, well, they've announced it someplace.
Maybe they're just getting ready for everybody ready for the extended playoff next year, with it being a week, the championship being a week from today.
Yeah, they said pump the brakes.
Yeah, we're going to announce it next week. Next Tuesday.
I don't know what they're doing.
It's ridiculous.
You got a whole TV network dedicated to the Big Ten. Make a show. Make an hour-long program, 2 hours. I don't care what you do. It's your network. Whenever you want to. But announce that schedule. People need to book travel, and including the football teams that are going to be playing on those days. Buckeye Hoops with a monster win over the weekend. Austin was there in person to see it. We'll get into that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good. Don't start the new year with the same old ride. Right now, score low lease payments on all 2026 models, like $149 a month for a brand new Elantra or $159 for a new Sonata. Hurry in and kick off the new year right. Columbus or Dublin or glexhyundai.com. With proof credit $39.95 down plus tax, title, and fees. 2-year lease for 10K miles per year. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Ends 2/2.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hosting a passionate crew of Buckeye fans? Revamp your rec room for an epic watch party with power reclining sofas, massaging recliners, entertainment centers, and coffee tables from Bob's. They even have sofas with drop-down tables for snacks and bevs. Shop in-store or online to score big on an incredible game day setup at Bob's everyday low prices. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, Ohio State fans! Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
Rothman and Ice.
Ohio
You
State
two
football.
are the best in the business.
Cut that.
Let's make sure no one's interrupting me. I'm recording the
I think
audio.
it has to be natural.
You two are the best in the business.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
This is Paul Keels for RV Wholesalers. Peace of mind. That's what you get when purchasing your next RV from RV Wholesalers. With every new RV purchase, Ohio residents receive the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. If your RV is in the shop, RV Wholesalers will give you a free loaner. Also with a Buckeye Service Guarantee, you'll receive free delivery in the state of Ohio and 3-day RV exchange. That's the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. Only at RV Wholesalers in Lakeview, Mansfield, Delaware, and RVW.com. RV Wholesalers, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
From the first whistle to the final play, being a Buckeye fan calls for commitment and support. Nature Made vitamins are your winning play. From the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand, Nature Made is made to care for fans on game day and every day. So you can go all in on big wins, tough losses, and still show up for your team every time. Nature Made, proud vitamin and supplement sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day still in place through early Tuesday as sub-zero wind chills continue tonight and into early tomorrow. Low temperature in the single digits overnight, partly cloudy. More sun Tuesday, high in the low 20s. We'll make our way back to the mid and upper 30s Wednesday of some rain-snow mix before more cold weather arrives. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
All Buckeyes, all the time. You are listening to The Buckeye Show.
Use AI at all?
No.
All right.
Are you using it regularly?
I'm using it right now. I'm not using it. There's nothing for me to use it for. What am I going to use AI for? To put together prep sheets?
You could, right?
I mean, I could just type in AI, hey, build a 2-hour show for me talking about everything and anything Ohio State. But I like to have control of the prep sheet. So Reimer and I do that together as a little tandem. There's nothing in the world for me to use AI for. Like, I don't know what honestly, I couldn't even tell you what I would need it for.
I don't think anyone should use it. I'm scared of it.
I think everyone should be scared of it.
Are coming for us.
So AI's Google's AI is called Gemini.
Yeah.
And anytime you do a Google search, like it pops up like the AI perspective. You know, like it gives
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that on Google and Gemini, and it's giving me information that I know is wrong.
So here, listen to this. I just typed in Big Ten football schedule announcement 2026 to again see if I missed anything or that there is even a date that is out there. AI overview on the Big Ten schedule release announcement for 2026. The full Big Ten football schedule for 2026 isn't out yet as of early 26, but expect it closer to late 24 or 25. So 2 years ago, you're telling me this should have been out. Following the conference's typical pattern of announcing schedules a year or two in advance with details for the new expanded conference, including Oregon, Washington, UCLA, and USC emerging as they solidify protected rivalries and non-conference game with an announcement likely sometime after the 2025 season includes. Conference schedules are usually finalized and released a year or two ahead, so anticipate the schedule for 2026 dropping in late 2025. Even AI, its brain is melted trying to comprehend the fact that the Big Ten does not have their schedule released for this upcoming football season.
That Tony Petitti, he's always trying to keep Gemini on its heels there. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would use AI for, man. I don't even know how to use it. Do you just go to like chatgpt.com? Is it an app? Where do you go? Where do you go for these things?
I honestly don't know either.
I have no clue, man.
I know there's Grook, if that's how you say it.
That's the Twitter one.
Yeah.
X. Sorry, Elon.
It's the everything app.
It is. It is the everything app. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you use them.
I know that brother-in-law Paul uses ChatGPT to help make his one-and-done PGA Tour golf picks, but he's also finished dead last for the last 2 years. So
don't do it
probably
anymore.
need the human element at play here.
It's an NFL commercial, and maybe it's like Excel or something. Like they're using AI to pick players out of the draft and like project players and which ones are going to be like a Hall of Famer. I'm like
the commercial with the Buccaneers coaches.
I'm like, if we're doing that to pick players and figure out who you want as free agents, and if a team of scouts aren't going to tell you, and I guess it was the whole like Moneyball situation, right? Like with Billy Beane and Jonah Hill. Like those guys weren't using AI. They were using numbers and they were looking at the players themselves. But I just got such a big kick out of that commercial this weekend where it's like, out of 100 players, this one player projects as a future Hall of Famer. I'm like, I don't know.
But the input
like that.
I'm glad you said that. That commercial blows. It's horrible. And I'm thinking about it in real time, and I know that you're not supposed to try and apply logic to it, but the guy's sitting there typing away 100 tackles, input leadership skills, Chat GPT or Gemini. Like, how are they quantifying leadership skills? What?
You still have to prompt the AI.
You have to have the human input to have said, well, we think that this guy's a good leader. Because I guarantee you the robots don't know. They've never been motivated in a locker room before. What input are you putting in there?
I don't know.
Good leadership and 100 tackles, and he runs a 4.40. Oh, but then at the end of the commercial, like, oh, that's the guy. Well, it's because he made a tackle in real life in front of you. AI doesn't know that.
AI doesn't know ball. All right. Let's just break it down to brass tacks.
Stop asking.
AI doesn't know ball. They're not watching ball. Tell you that much.
Are they building a My Player or something like that?
I don't know what they're doing.
It's ridiculous.
I'm glad that we're on the same terms with AI.
Get it out of here. The Buckeye Show, vow right here. Humans only. No robots.
No robots.
We won't be relying on AI ever. You might think that the show would be better if we programmed a robot to do it.
There's a fair argument that the show would be better if it were programmed by robots.
But we're not going to let that happen. we're going to win the war.
You know what? We're not even going to enter the war, Austin. That's how much we're.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
once you give the robots an opening,
the war's coming.
They'll never be stopped.
And the war
have
against
you ever,
the eye is coming.
Have you ever seen Terminator? That's what we're facing.
I've seen a lot of these movies.
Yeah. We all know how it ends.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
Not good.
Unplug, folks.
How was your time over at the Shot on Saturday? Buckeyes got a massive win over Mick Cronin, who refused to do a press conference, which I thought was maybe the best part of the entire situation. Because, Reimer and I were always in here for Buckeye Hoops games. It's a little bit different on the road than what it is at home for us. We always carry the Jake Diebler press conference in our road games. And so, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks everybody for watching, chiming in, by the way, thanks. If you see over here, I have a soundboard in front of me. There's something called Brick 3L. That is tied directly in to the Schottenstein's podium for the post-game press conference, all right? So if I turned that up right now, nothing's going on over there, but I could turn it up, turn it on. It goes directly over there to the press conference room. So usually when we're getting ready to be done with the show or go on the air with the post-game show, I'll turn that little thing in queue to see what's going on. Am I hearing any players? Am I hearing any coaches? And it was getting close to the time of us going in. I'm like, oh, boy, I haven't heard any UCLA players, haven't heard Mick Cronin yet. So I texted Murph, knowing that he was there. I said, hey, is Mick Cronin, is he already gone? Did I miss it? He goes, he's not doing a press conference. I said, lovely. That's even better. And then I immediately texted Reimer about it.
He was, so I did not go into the postgame room, so I would not have been able to give you that update. But I can tell from watching him, churlish would be the word.
Yeah.
Childish, full tantrum mode. All the worst things that you think about the reputation for Mick Cronin were on display on Saturday. And I don't really understand what he could be angry about. There was one call that nobody even really knew what he was arguing about, and he wanted a technical on Ohio State. But it wasn't one of those games that you look at and it's like, oh, one call really got him, or it was a poorly officiated game. They got outclassed from start to finish by Ohio State. And so if he's just mad at his team and deciding not to do a press conference, well, that's not a good look. But that I can't think of any other explanation. There was only one time where it looked like he wanted to get teed up himself, but that was not a string of like, boy, he really got home courted there. Ohio State got some advantages. No, they just made every three that they looked at.
Yeah, they did. They were on fire. By the way, John Mobley Jr. is starting to ascend. My friend Devin Royal's been really good this year, and I think he's got 13 straight games now of 10-plus points on every game that he's played in, which is awesome. Like, his development this year has been really good.
The big thing for him was moving to the three.
It was, and it's still huge. And you're still seeing some times in games where he maybe looks a little bit unsure of what he's doing, but he's starting to grow into that role. We know what Bruce Thornton is. Bruce Thornton is terrific. The ascension of John Mobley Jr., especially with a lack of bench production, you get that out of him. And I'm not saying that he needs to do what he did on Saturday against UCLA every single game moving forward, but you know that it's in him.
But what if he did, though?
Distributing the ball, and he's not turning the ball over, and he's making three-pointers and being aggressive going to the rack. Like, those guard play with that 1-2, like, with him and Bruce Thornton, boy, like, they're really starting to hit a stride. They got a big one tomorrow against Minnesota, Reimer.
I tweeted about this earlier today about, yes, Mobley probably had one of his best shooting performances in an Ohio State jersey this year, but he's also really grown as a playmaker. And you're really seeing it where he's coming off ball screens and he knows he's got the defender on his hip, so he's drawing help from somebody else and it's opening up everybody else. Or he had a matchup in the second half with Bilodeau and took him off the dribble.
That kid's awesome, by the way. He's terrific.
He was feasting. Yeah. But he is finding little holes in matchups that he likes, and like Diebler said on the Diebler show today, that he's starting to slow down. And like last year as a freshman, he looked a little bit more sped up, and that's really huge for him.
It is.
Once he got the confidence, and you could tell that he was on one. It was the play right before halftime. He takes the inbounds, and at that point, UCLA had started to come into the game. It felt like they were finding their footing. They're cutting it to 4 or 5. Junie takes the inbounds pass, takes 3 dribbles, creates space, and then hits the buzzer beater for 3. And I'm like, well, that's the end of that one. Like, John Mobley Jr. just snuffed this out all by himself. And then he came out right out of the locker room and hit the first three that he looked at. And like, that's a wrap. We can move forward
doing
here.
this today.
He just ended Mick Cronin's press conference right there.
It was terrific.
It is a lot of fun when he's on.
Yeah.
It's fun.
86-74 was the final score in that game. Look at Junie's stat line in case you weren't watching it or weren't listening to it on Saturday. 28 points, 8 for 15 from the field, 6 of 12 from 3-point. Made all 6 of his free throws, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers, and a steal, and a couple of offensive rebounds. Yeah, you get that every game alongside of what we know that Bruce is capable of and what Devin Royal is becoming.
Did you mention his turnovers too?
0.
Yeah.
And
That's been a big thing.
Had a couple against Washington, Reimer.
Yeah.
But in the last 3 games before that, I don't think he had any.
Yeah, it was very little. Like his assist to turnover ratio this year is really good.
Yeah, very, very good. Big one tomorrow against a Minnesota team who was doing well, has been struggling, lost their last 3, but that's a 6:30 tip-off. You can listen to our coverage beginning right here on the Fan at 7:30. Nope, that's wrong. 5:30 tomorrow. Yeah, I went an hour into the future instead of an hour of the past. Yes, 5:30 we'll have the warm-up show for you. Austin's second question of the day. It's going to bring us to Ohio State in the running backs room. We'll attempt to answer that coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Being diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, or one of over 100 other types of blood cancer makes people want more time to do the things they love. That means more time to be artists, prom dates, world travelers, and moms. We are Blood Cancer United, the world's leading organization focused solely on blood cancer research, support, and advocacy. We do the most for more people with blood cancer, so people with blood cancer can do more of whatever they want. Blood Cancer United. Join us at bloodcancerunited.org.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone, like the best-selling Camry. Now through February 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 26 Camry, or lease a new Camry LE for just $289 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing, with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are we drinking the scarlet and gray Kool-Aid? You bet we are. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Hey, now my guy Austin Ward tonight. Again, thanks everybody for listening. You can always go back and listen to the podcast. If you missed anything from the show, Adam King joined us a little bit earlier on. Mick Walker talking about what's going on with the Buckeyes. Always go back on the YouTube machine, watch that. While you're there, also watch the newest episodes of the Austin and Berm Show, which you can find nearly daily.
You can find them Monday through Friday for the beat version, which is
nearly daily.
That's right. But, sometimes snap judgments materialize out of nowhere. That can happen at any time, Saturdays, Sundays. So oftentimes, at least during the season, which really never stops, you can find something 7 days a week.
Yeah, absolutely you can. So that's all there. Good stuff. Let's go to the YouTube comments real quick. Craig said, talking about the Mick Cronin technical, said Ohio State tried to put Junie on the line instead of Amari Bynum late in the game. Not technical worthy, but that's what Mick Cronin was fired up about. I didn't even know what was going on.
Seems like something that you should really get worked up about when you're down by 10 and skip a press conference over.
I feel like he's just reached his breaking point with the Big Ten and all of this.
Every game, Reimer. He's reached his breaking point.
Yes.
Then he did his own press conference and just threw his players under the bus.
No, that's never happened. We were sitting there. So television's Adam King. So, I used to cover Mick, down there, Mick Cronin down there in Cincinnati. It's like, I wonder if I can, talk to him, if he's going to say hi, just, say hello afterwards. And then Mick Cronin was going bonkers about the tea stuff. He's like, I probably won't. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to be out of there.
I think that's a good idea.
Last year, he complained about seeing the Statue of Liberty twice in 2 weeks. And now looking at their Big Ten schedule recently.
You know what he is? He's a sideline snob.
Ooh, he is He is a bit of a sideline snob.
There we go.
I think we got to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Well, they had to travel to Iowa and at Wisconsin. Then they came home to play Maryland. Then they came back across the country to go to Penn State.
I
and
have an
then Columbus.
idea. Don't take that job. If you don't want to do that, don't live in L.A. and play games in the Big Ten.
Well, do you want to know who their next opponent is?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night against Purdue.
In Mackey? Or at
No,
home?
it's at home.
Oh, no.
Great. That's terrific.
They didn't even have the tandem road trip out?
They still have to come to the schools up north, Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah. You know who feels bad for Mick Cronin here on the show? Absolutely nobody.
That won't be me.
Kathy said, gentlemen, I've used AI to streamline a document but not write it. I was an English major. I can write my own documents. Craig said, AI is nicer at writing emails than I am. I'll outline the email, then it'll fill in with all nice words. I'm not poo-pooing you for using AI. If you need to do something and it's better at you than doing it, and your job is easier because of AI, like Meredith does stuff like her computer science class with coding, and she prompts into AI about all these codes and like what to use and formats, all these different things. That's AI-able. I'm just saying, I do nothing that I would even deem to use AI. I don't even know how to use it. Don't even know where to start, Austin.
Well, the good news is we're old.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
And we know how to do the things that we've been hired to do without the benefit of it. If my job changes, your job changes to the point where it is more beneficial for a robot to talk about an Ohio State football game than me, and maybe that day's already here.
Are we cooked, chat?
I mean,
Chat, are we cooked?
If that becomes the scenario, and Fish is like, you know what, Austin? Why don't you plug in a new intro for that show and see if AI thinks that's how you can hook listeners? And I'll be like, you know what?
I think I'm out.
You don't need me then.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
I'm done.
And
He would say that to me before he said it to you, Austin. Let's be honest with each other.
I don't know. I think we'll have a meeting about it tomorrow.
Yeah,
see
we
if
probably will.
Chat GPT can host this show or not.
It could. It would do a fine job.
I don't think that's true.
I think it would do a fine job.
There's no personality. Excuse me, Chat GPT. What happened with your child today? Do you have an amusing story to tell about your trip to Disney World or your kid throwing up in the car seat? Chat GPT, can you weave a little fiction for me that sounds like you're a believable human? No,
it can't. You know why?
We're trying to build relationships here.
Cold-blooded computers. That's why.
They don't bleed.
They don't know what 2.5-year-old toddler vomit smells like and how that shapes really the course of the rest of your week. They don't know what that is like.
You didn't even know there was a national championship game tonight.
I didn't care, frankly, until 4:30 when Meredith asked me.
You needed a human to tell you that.
Tonight. I did need a human to tell me that. Let's get to the second part of your question of the day. This one revolving around the Ohio State running backs room, Austin. We know the story with Bo Jackson. Nearly got in the portal. They figured it out towards the end. Win-win deal for both parties. But you also did add a transfer running back. I believe Jacoby Jackson is a 7th-year player. So you're getting older in that running back room. Question of the day, just thoughts on kind of the state of that room.
Yeah. You needed, when you're losing C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples and Sam Dixon, like that room is in the middle of some turmoil and transition and attrition. And you're building around Bo Jackson and Isaiah West. They're both in their 2nd year. So if you're Carlos Lachlan, what is it that you need to address? Well, on the field, we know that Ohio State didn't have the level of success that it wanted in red zone and short yardage situations. All right, so you're looking at that part. If you want someone to set or help set a work ethic example, maturity, been around college football for years, and there's someone entering year 7, junior college, and then heading on to Florida and dealing with injuries. Jacoby Jackson got approved for that additional year, I think maybe a month ago.
Unlike
2 months
Trinidad
ago.
Chambliss did.
Yeah, he didn't have to go to court to get it. He won that. He won his freedom and the opportunity to go pursue another opportunity elsewhere. It's a good fit, I think, for everybody. It doesn't mean that Ohio State was looking to replace Bo Jackson in the starting lineup or even to supplement Isaiah West's workload. I think that is a pretty narrowly defined role, helping in practice, helping in short yardage, and Jacoby Jackson should be able to do that. Now, maybe there's an opportunity to do more. C.J. Donaldson, I think, exceeded the expectation. We would have had a similar conversation last January about him and a specialized opportunity. Well, he came here and he took advantage of, the resources, the weight room, the training table, lost 25 pounds, found more speed, helped out in a way that no one was really projecting for him. I don't know if that will or will not happen with Jacoby Jackson. I don't know that it is a necessity for what Ohio State is wanting him to come in here and do. But I'm fascinated by the journey because Ohio State doesn't take a lot of players who've gone the junior college route, who are in year 7. If you look at the film from 2024 when he was healthy at Florida, he had 7 touchdowns. And if everyone still wants to beat their chest down in the South about how meaningful it is and how competitive it is in the SEC, well, 5 of his touchdowns came against SEC opponents. Those are, I'm told,
hardest places to play in the world. Hardest teams to play against.
I'm told those aren't given out charitably, so they had to be earned. 5 of those touchdowns came against SEC opponents.
You guys wouldn't get it, all right?
Yeah,
none of you would get it. It's every weekend coaching in these Southeastern Conferences cities and stadiums. You covered it, Austin. You know that they're built diffy down there.
Wait a second. When was the last time they won a national championship?
No one even remembers. It's been too long.
I don't know.
Ask ChatGPT. They'll tell you.
Thanks, Gemini.
But Jacoby Jackson also had, amongst those productive games against SEC opponents, a 100-yard rushing day against Texas, a Texas defense that Ohio State saw in the college football playoff semifinal in the Cotton Bowl. So we know the caliber of that defense. And, I don't know that you're going to see a ton of explosive runs. I don't know what the long-range speed and explosiveness is for Jacoby Jackson, but you can cut that film on
right now, 70 yards.
You can see a lot of hard-nosed, tough runs between the tackle and, what's he, 5'11"? I think he's around 225.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna drop the hammer down there. And if that's all he gives Ohio State, that will be a success because they're trying to supplement the room, not rebuild it at the very top.
I also think that having a guy who's been around the block as long as Jacoby Jackson and then having a guy like Bo Jackson back for his second year, in which we're all under the, illusion that we're expecting him to be the bell cow back, right?
Yep.
He asserted himself in the lineup this year. He became that down the stretch. He was obviously very good. Great freshman season from Bo Jackson Jr. To have a guy like Jacoby Jackson right next to him and to lean on that with that experience as long as he's been around, these aren't the things that, get the glitzy headlines or glitzy talk, but having that in an older guy to ask him about a day-to-day thing. Hey, man, this is kind of nicked up. How did you deal with this? What's a recovery on this? And, listen, Ohio State's got all their trainers and staff that are going to tell them how to do that. But having someone in that room that is grinding with you every day to just have someone to lean on a little bit from his experiences, I think it's a huge benefit for Bo Jackson and the rest of the younger guys in this room as well.
Yeah, it may well be that Jacoby Jackson's biggest impact is just in the meeting room. And that would be fine, too. I mean, he's trying to extend his career. He's looking for an opportunity to improve, get developed, and Ohio State said, we've got that for you. You've never had support like this. For whatever, it's funny, he was at Florida, and that's one of those programs that's sort of fallen by the wayside compared to the SEC peers when you're talking about the level of support and practice facility and those sorts of things. This is what he's going to have with Carlos Lachlan, with Mickey Marotti, with the training table, with the, nutrition staff. All that stuff is going to be something he's never seen before. And I remember, C.J. Donaldson talking about that a year ago and Will Howard talking about that the year before. These guys who have succeeded and built themselves up to a level where Ohio State's like, you know what? We see something in you. Now, how about you add 10% more on top of that? What would that look like? Are you intrigued by that possibility? That's an appealing sales pitch. And that's not a knock. Maybe it is. Maybe I did mean it that way for Florida, but not on Kansas State or West Virginia. I mean, it's different here. So do you want to take that shot and see where it can take you? Yeah, Jacoby Jackson wants to do that. And Carlos Lachlan, he's only been here now for 2 seasons, but there's already a ton of people who can provide that testimony about what the caliber of coaching is that you're going to get.
Buckeye Hoops got another big win today on the hardwood. We'll get into that in hashtag Buckeyes next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, everybody, it's Berm here. Jeremy Birmingham from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. Listen, if you told me 4 weeks ago that I'd have lost 27 pounds, I would have asked you if I lost a limb. But here I am, 27 pounds down in 4 weeks and all my limbs intact, thanks to Awaken 180. Where'd that weight come from? My waist. I'm already down 3 notches on my belt. My face. Yeah, I can see my jawline. That's pretty cool. You don't gain 27 pounds in a week, so you don't really notice when the weight creeps on. But if you drop it quick, doing it the healthy way, you can watch 3, 5, or even 15 years of weight gain disappear just like that. The Awaken 180 app keeps me on track, and my coach, Mandy, ensures the weight keeps dropping off. But the results on the scale are the true motivation. I'm becoming a new me and don't miss the old me or my approach to food and health. Well, maybe cheese on a burger, but that'll be back as soon as I'm on the maintenance part of the plan. That's the thing. You give up a tiny amount. In return, you get everything. Do what we all did and make your 180 with Awaken 180. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 12th at the 2026 Ohio State 4-Miler, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down a tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. You can also get access to the home locker room and meet some of your favorite Buckeye student athletes. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostateformiler.com. Go Bucks!
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, where can you get a full suite of business banking services served up by well-trained, caring employees with unquestionable integrity? It's right here at Heartland. Relationships matter. I'm Scott McComb. Come over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Rare banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always. Trusted. Visit caresource.com.
Hi, radio listener. Are you having a stressful day? Do you want to unwind before you go home to your annoying family? Good news. You can spend time with our annoying family, Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. Hashtag Buckeyes.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Final segment for us here this evening. How about the Ohio State women's basketball team? Beat number 10, number 8, TCU, depending on whether you look at the AP poll, you look at the coaches poll. Today, the second annual Coretta Scott King Classic inside of the Rock, the Prudential Center over there in Jersey. 71-69, the final score. Their second top 10 win of the season. I think it's their second top 10 win in the last 10 days or so.
Yeah.
TCU opened up a pretty big lead. Ohio State came back into this game. But I'll tell you what, man, Kevin McGuff and those Buckeyes start to get into the months of January and February. They're starting to press. They're looking very, very good now. So great start to the season from them. But yeah, how about Ohio State? Again, big victory today on the hardwood.
Aggressive scheduling. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a non-conference top 10 opponent in the middle of January. No one's making you do that.
No.
So Kevin McGuff said, you want to
Men's
battle?
team gets Virginia non-conference down in Nashville on Valentine's Day.
It's a strange one as well.
It is. Yeah, it is.
But yeah, you look at this team and the way the Buckeyes are put, they can score, man. And they are not afraid to go play anybody. And early in the year and some of the matchups they had, like UConn, right? Like you're not going to win every single one of those, but you're hoping that you're laying the foundation for competing at the highest level so that you're ready for March. That's ultimately what's going to come down to with Kevin McGuff and those Buckeyes, because we know he's put together a lot of really successful regular seasons, and everyone is waiting for that next step in March. We'll see. I mean, this combination and the way Jelani Cambridge and some of those, the way they shoot, that can keep you in a lot of games. And
she's awesome.
So we'll see how that plays out, but they're building something.
Yeah, they are. They are. Next up for them, they get the Hoosiers at home coming up on Thursday. So a few days break. This is what Big Ten basketball is, though. It's 2.5 games a week, I think it is, for the entirety of the Big Ten slate.
Well, you can only play a full game.
I know.
You're not allowed to just play a half.
It averages out, though, to 2.5 games a week, if we're talking.
Oh, my mistake.
Averages. Let's pump that into ChatGPT. On average, how many basketball games do Big Ten teams play?
Ohio State Buckeyes play half of a basketball game tonight. I am a
Thanks,
robot.
nerd. Computer nerd.
God.
Anyways, Buckeyes in action, 8 o'clock. Back of the shot on Thursday. Ohio State men's basketball. Big game tomorrow coming up at 6:30 against Minnesota. Again, 5:30 coverage for us begins right here on The Fan. National championship about to get underway down in Miami. It certainly looked that Indiana was in Miami's locker room, because Miami came out of a tunnel that was about as wide as our hallway between these studios. And those are large human beings who are getting ready to play tonight. I mean, there was maybe 2.5 human beings across. Like they were really
They can only
jellied in
have
there.
full human beings, Brandon.
It was like a tuna can in there.
They were packed in like sardines in that hallway. I was like, I thought about that over the weekend, and I saw Holly Rowe like doing some reporting down there in Miami on South Beach or wherever on Friday night. I was like, I wonder, like, did Miami just stay on campus the whole time? Did they skip the hotel? Did they practice in their own like home facility the whole weekend? What an advantage that could be.
I would think that they would practice in their own facility, right? But once
they probably stayed in the hotel. I get that, but like why wouldn't you? Because you're scheduling that before the Cotton Bowl. Ohio State's like, well, we're not going to do every practice at AT&T Stadium, and they pop down to one of those high schools that only had like a 60-yard indoor field. You have control over where you want to be. It's like, well, wouldn't be that difficult, I would think, for Mario Cristobal to be like, well, we'll take this practice facility right here on this campus.
Yeah, the one that we have.
Looks nice. We'll use that training table that they have in there. Oh, and the medical staff. That would be very convenient.
The Hoosiers said, we're taking the Dolphins.
Yeah.
We've laid claim to the Dolphins facility.
Not saying that the Hoosiers would be shorted by that, because you have NFL facilities available to you, but just being at home and having some of that familiarity, not even before you get to the stadium tonight, like that can be a big deal. Will it make the difference in the game? I don't know. It's about to kick off right now.
Saw Pete Thamel say it's about 70-30 Indiana in Miami's home stadium.
Well,
they've never had the opportunity to do this before.
But that might not feel dissimilar, because Miami fans don't go to games in the stadium anyway.
Facts. That is very true. I mean, I'm sure you're in a bunch of group messages, like I am, group chats. There's one of the funniest things. All these guys, I go on a fishing trip every year, Austin. Most of them live up in Massillon. The home of Justin Zwick, who's going to be with me on Wednesday from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And this at 7:32. Let's go Hoosiers. Another guy. Can't say that. I can say, let's watch some football. And I think that's a lot of Ohio State fans. Another guy said, sorry, guys, I'm rocking with the U. They're red hot, and I don't like the team that beats my team, Buckeye fan. And I want to tell them.
They both did.
These are the last two teams that you lost to and the only two teams that you lost to this season. And I said that. I said, Miami also beat your team. And then he reverses course, said, okay, go Hoosiers.
Well, that was easy. How quickly we forget. Or not. I guess you had it backwards,
the Indiana
right?
game was
longer ago.
It was 25 days away from the Miami game.
Yeah, and it's a tough conflict, right? Because I know that there are people like my father-in-law, any situation, even a couple years ago in the national championship game, I would rather have this for the sake of the Big Ten. I'm like, really? You want the Wolverines to win? I'm for the conference. I'm for the Big Ten.
For the most part, I'm doing that with the exception of Michigan.
Well, technically, Washington was going to the Big Ten the next year, so it was a win-win.
Could go either way.
Yeah.
The Big Ten would have claimed that national
I think
championship.
you have to.
Tony
They're
Petit,
coming to your conference.
He'll do whatever he wants. But I think that's the argument you always have. Do you want the team that beat your team to have success, or would you like them to feel some pain?
Well, guess what, buddy? You got no other option tonight.
You're really conflicted on this one. The only thing you can find is Big Ten or not Big Ten, and that is Curt Cignetti. And I asked Jeeves. He said that they're going to win.
Jeeves did?
Yeah. Bing, Ask Jeeves, DuckDuckGo, I think is like Google.
Not Gemini, though.
I searched all of it. It said Curt Cignetti's the guy. He wins. He's going to
Google him.
Will Howard told me to do that.
Today's fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. Who do you want to win, and who do you think will win tonight's college football national championship game? Wanting and picking Indiana, wanting and picking Miami, want Indiana picking Miami, wanting Miami picking Indiana. I would like, and I'm picking, the Indiana Hoosiers to win the national championship game tonight.
What a world we're living in. You just said that Indiana Hoosiers are going to win the national championship in football.
It's crazy, man.
Is this the month of March?
Yeah, what world are we in? What day is it?
It doesn't make any sense.
Technically, it'd be April for the national championship.
It makes no sense. The fact that they've done this, that they've gotten to this point.
Speaking of Google Me, if Indiana wins tonight, how quickly is Wikipedia going to be updated?
Oh, within milliseconds.
Yeah.
Milliseconds. Even maybe before the game is over.
It's going to be
updated.
They'll be editing it in real time.
Yeah. I think they will be. That's the best part.
I mean, the Wikipedia is always good for some entertainment.
Yeah, like Miller Lattes.
Yeah.
They're always very good. What do you got going on the rest of the week? Anything?
This week, I have so much more free time now that the portal is closed. I don't know. I'm trying to take it one day at a time, Beamer. We had a really busy weekend, 3-day weekend. Took the girls out for, Liberty was off school. Took them to Panera for some salads this afternoon, keep them entertained, and then some football tonight. We really watched a ton of NFL over the weekend, so we'll see if we do that for Championship Sunday.
Yeah, not me. I'm going to be out. Austin had a great time with you here this week. I'll check in with you, I do believe, again next week. Actually, we'll call you on Wednesday, okay?
Sounds great.
Everybody have an awesome evening. Buckeye Hoops for us tomorrow. We'll be back on Wednesday with Justin Zwick. Enjoy your night. Something else is up next on The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind.